Welcome back everybody to Geometry Dash tutorial. In this one, what we're going to be doing is going to be something pretty cool that you guys are going to like. I'm going to be teaching you everything you need to know about the spawn trigger, which also includes the remapping system. Now, I've been using the GD editor for a very long time, and I can assure you that the remapping system is one of the best things to ever be added to the Geometry Dash editor. This is something that I personally say, and I think it is very, very valid. Okay, so what is the spawn trigger? What does it do? Let's start very simple and then get more complex and complicated. So, in Geometry Dash, there are triggers that do certain things. For example, if we add this block, give it a group ID of 1 using this edit group thing, and then we want to move it, let's say, to the right. So we add a move trigger, edit object, and then we simply do 50 in here on the X and make sure it's a platformer. Also add this thing to mute the song, and yeah, now you guys can see that this thing is just moving, which is pretty cool. Now let's just make it go up. So making it go up, just doing 50 in here, and now it goes up. Let's also pulse it. Let's pulse it by using a pulse trigger group 1. We want to pulse it like that, and now it pulses and goes up, which is honestly awesome. But now the problem is that when you add more things, like for example a sound effect to here or a spawn particle or any of these things, it's going to get very complicated. And if let's say you want this to be moved down, once you like land on it, you can make them both touch trigger, and in here as soon as you touch it, it's going to make it go down. But this is a problem because you don't want to have all your triggers just kind of like in that little square there. This is very, very bad to do, and there is a much, much better way to do it. So select them, and instead of making them touch, just make them spawn triggered. Don't do this yet. I'm going to explain exactly why. And now give those two a new group ID. Let's say we give them 2, and now using the spawn trigger, we can just spawn 2, which is these guys, and we can do it on touch. And now by doing that, you guys are going to see that the exact same thing happened. As soon as you touch it, these guys are getting called. Okay, so that's pretty much what the spawn trigger does, but there's actually a lot more to it. So first of all, if you have, let's just start up here. What is preview disable? Preview disable, if you guys know that triggers that are not on touch trigger, they basically have this effect where if you move from left to right, it's actually going to play whatever is going to happen when that trigger is reached. If you want to disable that, let's say you have like a, I don't know, like a gradient on here, and like this. So once you reach here, it's gonna get white, and you're gonna be like, okay, I don't want to have this. You can just go here and preview disable, and this is basically gonna make it not play in here. But if you play in here, it's actually gonna do it. So it only disables it for the preview, which honestly I have never used this before, probably only once or something, but it's good to know. Spawn ordered, also one of the best things to be added to 2.2. It is so great. So let's say, what exactly do we want? We want this to fall down and then fall up a bit, as if you're like landing on it. So we're going to copy and paste this, and we're going to make it move up. But now you guys are going to realize that we're moving it up and then down at the same time. So it's really not moving at all. You could like make this longer so that it kind of goes down and then up, which is not great. So we can use this so-called spawn ordered, and what this is going to do is basically call these triggers, all of them that are on group 2. Oh my god, I didn't want to play. Call them all from left to right. So it goes from here to here. So if we enable spawn ordered, you guys are going to see that now it's going to go down, and then it's going to start going up. This is basically like the distance. So if we move it like far to the right, you guys are going to see that it's just going to take longer. This is very phenomenal for platformer mode, and honestly also classic. But platformer, I can see a lot more use to it. So let's just add a easing to this just to make it cooler. Let's do ease in and out, and this one has to be ease out. So now you guys can see that we have created a cool thing. So that's what spawn ordered is. Then we have the reset remap, and that's when the remapping system comes into place. So now we have this. You can also do a delay, which basically means as soon as you touch it, it's going to play a timer of 1 second. And after that timer is done, it's basically going to play. So basically just a delay. And this is random delay. So this is a delay, a random number between 0 and 2, because it's 1 plus minus 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2, and 1 minus 1 is 0. So it's basically, if you click it, it's just going to do a random number, and then you see that was probably closer to 2. This one was closer to 1. And yeah, if you keep trying it, you're probably going to get 0 at one point. But yeah, let's get into the remapping system. So what we want to do now is, let's say you have 2 blocks that you want to have the exact same effect on, and you can't just copy and paste it because it doesn't really work that way. So you want to give that a new group ID. Let's say we give it the group ID of 3. Okay, now I would like to add something else to this just to make it a bit cooler. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to use the spawn particle thing, and we're just gonna add an X right here. Actually, I'm going to add like a random pixel just to make it more simple for you guys. I'm gonna make it like this, actually T2. And this pixel is also gonna be group 1 because it's gonna basically like move alongside it. And we want this to have a different, we want this to pulse to something else. So let's say we want 4 to pulse to, let's say, I don't know, like green. And now you guys will see that this guy pulls to green, which is pretty cool. And so now when you copy and paste that one, you also want to copy and paste this one and give that one also a new group ID. And remember, this one was 3, so this one also has to be 3, so that they both have the same group ID of 3, but this pixel alone has 5. Okay, cool. So how do we do this for that one too? It's actually fairly simple. So the remapping system, the way it works is that you gotta give it the original ID alongside the new ID that you want to replace it with. So what that means is that instead of moving everything in here down and then up, we want to move these guys. And how do we specify that? Well, in here we can see that group 1 is being moved down and then up, but in here we want to move group 3 down and then up. So we don't want to do 1, we want to do 3, and then we do this, and there we go. Now this thing is not gonna go down. Reason for this is because these guys are not on multi-trigger. And what that means is that these guys can only ever be called once. And we already called it in here, so the second one is not going to work. But now, after doing that, you guys will see that it worked, but it kind of pulsed that thing instead. So now this is why I added the pixel, to show you guys that you can even do it with multiple things. So instead of pulsing 4, this one, we want to pulse 5, which is very simple to do, just 4, 5. Make sure you're actually adding these things into that spawn trigger, and boom, and boom. How cool is that? Using the exact same triggers, we managed to use the remapping system to basically create it. And what's even crazier is that you can basically copy and paste it, do this, and then build helper. And that is basically just going to assign all the new group IDs for you. And with that, you have created a beautiful thing. If you want to make them multi-trigger, go ahead. You can now do it multiple times. How beautiful is that? And if you want to go even crazier, you can do that, and you have basically optimized your level. Otherwise, this would have probably taken up to how many groups? We used 12. This would have probably costed you like 30 or something, or even more. But we have done it. We have made the remapping system, and yeah, that's actually pretty much it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, don't forget to slap the subscribe and also the like. I also would highly recommend you all check the playlists that are on the screen right now. They really help you get better at the Geometry Dash editor. I also made a course where I made a feature-worthy level, and that is also in a playlist. It's everything step for step, so you guys can check it out and see how cool it is. So yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Actually, I'm gonna just do this attempt and see how far I can get. I can get more than 2%. You guys gotta, like, come on. You guys have to slap the subscribe and all. But yeah, I also have an editor plugin for Premiere Pro that basically helps you edit your videos. You can also get that in the description. I have a shop. It's pretty cool. So you can get it and edit your YouTube videos much faster. And it's actually a cool thing. I use it for my main channel and even for this channel. Like, I use it pretty much. Okay, this is hard, but I'll see you guys in the next video.